Today I'm going here, here, and here. Today's video is a walk around downtown Toronto. We are going to be walking along Front Street West, going through the financial district and the entertainment district, and ending at Spadina with a detour through Union Station to just check out the changes there. Still under construction. As a matter of fact, a lot of Toronto is still under construction, the streets and the buildings. COVID hasn't slowed down anything. As you can see across the street, they're building the second part of the CIBC Square, which is for the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. Going to add a nice walking area, a pedestrian zone right through here to the other side from Yonge Street to Bay Street. And then you're also going to have access to the park that they are building right there, right on the left side there, over the train track. There's a park connecting the towers in the north to the towers in the south. There's also going to be a link to the path system right from that building right there, right over Yonge Street. So now we're looking at the Esplanade. It's the L Tower right there. And now we are heading up Yonge Street, and then we are going to turn west on Front Street. Now I haven't done any videos for a long time, and people have been asking me why, and the reason why I haven't posted many videos is because for a couple of months now I have been having problems with my computer. My Mac has been slowing down where it just basically became dysfunctional. I couldn't do much with it other than use the internet, but it was slow. So I was deciding, well, what am I going to do? Should I take it in? What should I do about the Mac, right? And then after about a month and a half, it completely broke down just before, just around December, right? So then I'm like, okay, I gotta do something, make a decision. Do I buy a brand new Mac computer, or do I try to get a few more years out of the one that I already have? So I decided that I was gonna bring it to my local repair shop. So I did that just before Christmas time, I think it was. And then they got back to me about 3 or 4 days later and told me how much it was going to cost. And then they also mentioned that they're going to be closed for a while, that I need it right away. So I told them, no, I can wait a little while, because I didn't want to be trekking around Toronto in winter with a big computer. It's a 27-inch screen, so it's pretty awkward to take around. And I said, okay, I'll just wait a while. So the guy said, okay, maybe the middle of January we should have it, right? So January comes, and then January goes. We read through January. I'm like, wow, what's happening with this computer? So I called them, and they said, yeah, they were closed and had a long holiday, and that they're going to get around to it soon. And then they called me back, and there were a little bit of complications about what things were going to cost, what they were going to do, and then they did something, and then I didn't like it, and they had to change it. So it took a while to get things back in order, but they did. I got the computer back. Of course, it's a pretty expensive to fix a Mac computer. So I hope I made a good decision, and it's going to last me for a while. If it breaks, within a month or two, then I just wasted a whole lot of money for nothing. But we'll wait and see. I decided to risk it. So that's the reason why I have not been, well, one of the reasons why I have not been posting. Also COVID too. There's not much happening in Toronto. And the masks are coming off soon, but I'm still not ready to get out there and, get too close to people. I'm going to be a little bit cautious. And there's just not a lot of people walking around. If you look at the streets of Toronto in this video, you'll see that it's not the way that it used to be. I love Toronto because of the lively streets and all the entertainment and all the events that go on here. And during COVID, it's just kind of been a little depressing. You walk around, there's hardly anybody walking, and a lot of the stores are closed, the restaurants are closed. and you have all the restrictions where you can go, where you can't go, and it just hasn't been fun filming Toronto. Now I know there are other Torontonians out there that are filming on a daily basis, like Johnny Strides and I think Ken Continuum and a few others, and they're doing a really good job of walking around the streets of Toronto. But when I see the streets are just like empty, it just doesn't make me want to go out and film, dead areas. I want the city to get back to life. It's always better in the summer too. There's more happening and there's more people out and there's more interesting things to film. So I'm not going to be going out every day like Johnny and the other Toronto YouTubers, because I got other things that I got to do. But when I see interesting events, or if I just feel like going for a walk somewhere, if I have an appointment that I have to go to, or a meeting or something, then I'll bring my little camera and make a video along the way. But this is my trek along Front Street and a little look inside Union Station. I'm very curious about what's happening there. I'm going to do a separate video of just more extensive look at Union Station. So that's basically it. Enjoy the video. This here is the Royal Bank Plaza, and those windows are coated with actual gold. They're worth millions of dollars. We're now on Bay Street. Right there is Union Station. We will be taking a little walk through Union Station. But first, let's take a little stop at the Royal Bank. Now here we are at Union Station, Toronto's main train station and regional transit. Has links to the airport. It also is where the subway goes right by here. You've got the Union Station subway. So you have a lot of transit. You have regional buses, great coach buses go through the terminal near here. It's all in this area. And this is also the start of the financial district going north of Front Street. So for the last probably 5, 6, 7 years, it's a long time, Union Station has been under reconstruction. They are renovating it from top to bottom. As a matter of fact, they are adding in a whole brand new floor. They dug underneath one extra level and they're putting retail down there. They have a new food court that's opened, but a lot of the stores since COVID have sort of closed down temporarily, I think. So the mayor recently said that finally construction is finished at Union Station, but actually the truth is that it has not. They are still building parts of the train station. As a matter of fact, there's whole corridors that are being rebuilt on all sides, east, west, north, and south. They build brand new corridors. Some have retail, some have restaurants, some are just climate controlled areas to walk in where it's nice and warm. So here we are entering, I think it's called the Grand Hall, Union Station. It's one of the nicest buildings in Toronto. Check out that ceiling. On the side there you can clearly see construction is still going on. There's a restaurant that's supposed to be built on the right hand side there where the hoarding is up. And over here you have Via Rail. That's the rail service that goes all across Canada. And then there's also another section. If you go downstairs, there's another area for GO trains. And GO trains are the regional trains that go to the suburban areas near Toronto. But it does go all the way to Niagara Falls. You can get to Niagara Falls on a GO train. I know in the summertime, I'm not sure if it's year-round or just in the summer, but they have a moderately priced trip to go there. I think it's, I shouldn't even say, I don't know exactly the price. We're also on the path system here. If you continue, you can get to different places like the Sky Dome Rogers Center or the CN Tower or different hotels and walk in climate-controlled comfort. So that's our quick little look at Union Station. I will be doing a more extensive look at all the different shopping areas and restaurant areas and all the new corridors. The moat along Front Street there, east and west moat. I think there's a few stores and restaurants in the moat there. These are all brand new areas, so they really expanded this train station, but it also costed a whole lot of money. It was over $500 million. I think it's around $800 million now. And the construction still continues. There's some new areas that now they're gonna renovate. So now we are out in front of the Royal York Hotel, one of Toronto's nicest historic hotels. It's also one of the biggest too. You got the CN Tower there. These are one of the moats on the side here, on the left-hand side. So you can literally walk all around Union Station by just the corridors and the moats. And underground, it's connected to the hotel. It's connected to office towers. The path system is huge. You don't even have to go outside if you don't want to. We are now at York Street, and University Avenue starts here too. And once you cross this area, you are entering the entertainment district, which doesn't have as much entertainment as it used to. It used to have a lot of nightclubs, but that's kind of gone the way of the dinosaur now since all of the condos moved in. Once the condos are being built, people move into the condos and then they don't want noise and disruption in their area, so they complain to their local councillors, and pretty soon things start quieting down. And also, once enough of those condos are bought, there's not much you can do, right? All these buildings that once functioned as warehouses and they were turned into nightclubs and restaurants and bars, and then when they're bought and turned into condos, you know, most developers are not going to put nightclubs inside a condo tower. So sometimes you get sort of like a restaurant bar, more of a quiet place, but you don't get the fun, crazy, wild, you know, entertainment venues and with loud music and partying. Those have moved west to the King Street West area near Bathurst. But there's certainly not as many as there used to be. This used to be the largest entertainment nightlife area in all of North America. And on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, it was crazy. There were all kinds of people walking around drunk when the bars closed down, and I didn't see many fights myself, but you heard incidents on the news and things about fights and once in a while shootings or something. So it's definitely quieted down since the condos started going up. But there still is entertainment here. There certainly still is bars and restaurants. So if you want to go out and drink, you can. It's just not as like dance oriented and music oriented as it used to be. As you could see there, you have Jack Astor's, and I think it's the Loose Moose, and there's places here that are more restaurants that serve alcohol, right? They sort of have a bar, but the main purpose is, I think, the restaurant. So there still are lots of places to eat and drink, but there's not so many places to like dance and hear live performances and stuff like that. On the right here, you have a new office tower that's going up for the Toronto Dominion Bank. It's got a very unusual shape. It's rather interesting, pretty modern. It's going to be a big building. We are now at the corner of Simcoe Street. This area has seen a lot of changes, but there's still a whole lot more to come. Some of Toronto's tallest office towers are going up very soon in this district. So the skyline is going to be altered in a big way. We are now at the Toronto Convention Center, and this building is also slated to have redevelopment. There's a number of towers and things that are going to be going right in this area. Office towers, more condos, more stores, more restaurants, all that kind of stuff is going to be coming to this whole section of Front Street West, all the way to Spadina. Most of this area is already developed. You have the CBC building there on the right. You also have the hotel there where Drake used to live. I'm not sure if he still has a condo there, but he used to have a condo there. And right here you have the boring convention center. I'm not too happy with the pedestrian realm of this area, or even the look of the convention center. It's just not an interesting building. It's pretty bland. So I'll be happy when they tear it down and build something a lot nicer. Canada is the fourth largest city in North America and one of the richest cities in the world, so I think we can afford something a little bit nicer than what we have now. We definitely need to up our game here, especially on architecture. A lot of the buildings going up are pretty bland and way too much gray spandrel and too many glass boxes. I want to see some curves, I want to see some details, I want to see some art, some creativity put into these buildings, some unique characteristics. There are some buildings that are going up that have their own unique look, but too many are pretty much cookie cutter boxes, and a gray at that, and I hate gray boxes. I'm really sick of it. They're just too much. Now this guy was waving money. I didn't understand what that was about. I think there might be some kind of mental illness going on there. He was walking around with about $100 in his hands, in both hands. He had $20 bills. He had like 5 in each hand, it looked like 4 or 5. And he's just waving the money at people walking by. People were just looking at him, and people didn't realize, what's he doing? Giving away money, or is he asking for money, or is he just, I think he was just in some kind of manic mode or something. So now we are coming close to the CN Tower, which is just over the rail tracks in South Core. As soon as you go south of the railway tracks, you're in a different neighborhood. You're in the South Core district. And that's where the Rogers Center is, that's where the CN Tower is, that's where the aquarium is, that's where the rail museum is, and some other entertainment type things. This is John Street here, which is due for a huge renovation. They're going to turn it into like a cultural pedestrian corridor. Pedestrian friendly, I should say. I don't think they're going to stop all cars, but they're going to make the sidewalks wider and maybe block cars temporarily for different events. That's the way the CN Tower, or rather the Rogers Center, you can see it there in the background. I prefer to call it the Sky Dome, the original name. I like original names. When companies sponsor buildings and then they change the name, I'm not up for that. For the name to continuously keep changing every 5 years when the contract ends. You build it, you name it the Sky Dome, and then that's it. It's the Sky Dome for me. More condos here, kind of grayish, greenish, grayish. Too many of those. Toronto's downtown core has one of the highest populations of residents of any major city in North America. And it's growing really quickly. There's still lots of projects that are slated to start construction very soon. As a matter of fact, if you look straight ahead on the right, you can see one of the largest developments in Canada called The Well. It's a mixture of condos, rental buildings, shopping, restaurants, and services in the area. It's a huge development. And also it's got a very unique design, which I like. It's got a glass walkway covering the retail area. And I think it's going to be quite cool. It's going to be unique in Toronto anyway. It's going to be sort of outdoor, sort of indoor kind of place. It's going to have a big food market in the bottom with all restaurants and bars and things like that. It's going to be a whole lot of restaurants in that development. Seems like it's mostly restaurants and bars. And it's near the King West district, which is a nightlife district, right, with nightclubs and bars. So it's probably going to attract a lot of those people to the restaurants and the bars inside this new complex. And they have lots of, not lots, but they have a number of really tall residential buildings, some rental. And that's also going to bring a lot of people to the development. Just the people that live in the condos right over the shopping area. The building to the left here is planned to be redeveloped into office buildings and condos and retail. So this whole strip is going to be completely different very soon. Today is really quiet. There's a few people walking around, a few cars here and there, but it's definitely not the way it used to be before COVID. This used to be a very crowded area. Some of the businesses are able to stay in business, I see, but unfortunately there's a lot that also closed too. There you have another shot of the Rogers Centre. Straight ahead. And you got a Rebel on the corner, which is good to have because it's open 24 hours a day. So anytime you need some milk or bread, or you want to buy some Jamaican beef patties or some kind of food, you got it right there. I've gone there 1 o'clock in the morning on many occasions when I needed some milk for coffee or something for the next day. Reba. There's new Rebas opening up all over the city too. I've noticed a number of new ones in different places. As you can see, people are still wearing the masks. The masks come off, I believe, March 21st, I think it is, or March 24th maybe. So, the end of March. But I'm sure a lot of people are not going to be taking off their masks because there are still a fair amount of people in the hospital and there are still people passing away from COVID. So, I think a lot of people are still going to be cautious, as I am myself. Right there is a nice shot of the well. That's the office tower portion. So you're going to have an office tower with 3 large condos on one side, and then I think there's 4 smaller condos on the north side. We're going to put in new parks, and they're going to renovate the streets all in the area. They're going to make a cat themed park. We have a dog themed park in St. Lawrence, so now they're putting a cat themed park in the entertainment district. Well, hold on, that's not the entertainment district. That is, what is that area? I think it's called Niagara or King West. Wellington Place. I've seen the signs there that say Wellington Place. They have different names for that area. Some people call it King West. Some people call it Niagara, or I haven't heard anybody calling it Wellington Place, but that's what the street sign said. So I'm not sure where they got that name from. Then again, other people just call it Spadina. The Spadina goes all the way up from the waterfront to around the university, Bloor Street. No, even further. But the main part goes up to Bloor Street. So you got a lot of interesting areas along that street. You got Chinatown, you got Queen Street West, you got King West. And now you got the well. It's nice to see that some restaurants are still in business. Hopefully things will get back to normal soon, sooner than later. Events are going on in Toronto. St. Patrick's Day Parade. I heard the Pride Parade. I heard the CNE is going to be going on this year. So a lot of the big events, Taste of the Danforth, a lot of the big events that were canceled are now going to be going on for the first time in 2 years in Toronto this summer. Okay, let's walk into it. Almost at City Place there. And there's the well right there in front of me. There's a new huge building going up there at City Place. It's going to be huge. Okay, that's the end of this tour. Until next time, bye.